Today we are going to discuss deconstruction. Deconstruction is one of the biggest subjects related to the literature. To understand deconstruction very well, we have to first analyze and understand the basic ideologies and concepts behind the deconstruction. Let's get started. Everything is made up of pieces, and these pieces are basic units. When these pieces get together, there becomes a thing. And similarly in literature, there are structures, and these structures are made up of the small units and small pieces of different concepts. And when the pieces get together, there becomes a philosophy and ideology. These pieces revolves around the center. Without the centers, there becomes no meaning. For example, in theologist, the people who believe in one God, the religion who believe in one God, there is the center point, and the center point is God. Every concept revolves around the center, and without the center, there would be no concept of any religion. So, like this, there are structures which revolves around some center, and this is the center which is to be discovered. Now you might have understood that how the structures work. There are pieces and there is the center. So how these structures work, that is the question now. Stoss says that every structure works in a binary opposition. And Derrida also says this, that every ideology and the structures are made up of and depends upon the binary opposition. For example, if there is the concept of day, there would be the concept of night. Without the concept of night, there would be no day. So, like this, in language and literature, for example, in grammar, the structure in West, we think that the speech is preferred over the writing. So, there's the concept behind this. Where this concept has arrived, they believe that in Bible, God speaks with the man. So the speech is preferred. So there is the ideology behind this, that why the speech is being preferred over the writing in the Western countries. So the basic ideology behind this is that this concept is related to the Bible. So the structures works in this way, that there is a philosophy and ideology behind every concept, and these concepts are dependent on the binary opposition. Without the concept of one thing, there would be no concept of the other thing. Now you might have understood that there is a center, and around the center there are some units, and this center and the units make a whole ideology and the concept and the structure in the literature and in the common life. So I have given you the examples of religion. So let's talk about the center. So there are the two basic qualities of a center. You must have to understand these qualities of the center. The first quality of the center is that the center creates the whole system. For example, there is the God in Islam. So God has created the whole system. So the center is the creator. So when there is the ideology and philosophy in the literature and in the common life, there would be a center. And you might have seen that this center would have created the whole system. So that is the first quality of the center, that the center creates the whole system. The second quality of the center is that the center cannot be ruled by anybody else. Center rules the whole system. Center gives the commands, but it cannot be given any command. For example, God tells us to pray, but the God does not pray himself, and we cannot him to pray. So the orders and commandments are comes from the center. So the center is independent, not dependent, but the whole structure is dependent upon the center. So these are the two qualities of the center. In deconstruction, the first attempt is to decentralize the center, but it is not possible, almost not possible, to decentralize the center, because the center is everything. Without the center, there would be no concept of any philosophy and ideology. So, but in comparison, there may be another system. We can introduce another system in opposition to the system that we exist today. So the people are giving the new ideologies and try to make something new. So you might have seen that if there was any system in this world, that was not the only system. In comparison to this system, there might have been some other systems too. So it is very much difficult to decentralize the center. But there are some flaws around the center. There are units. Sometimes these units does not work properly. And this unit that does not work properly is basically making some sort of flaws. So in deconstruction, we try to find out these flaws and try to make it correct. So same thing was done by Derrida, Jacques Derrida. Jacques Derrida utilized this basic concept of finding the flaws in the system. He applied his findings and rules and principles in the colonial studies. He found that there are some flaws in the colonial studies and the literature which was created in the period of colonization. He found some sort of mistakes, flaws, and some hidden motives of the writer. He tried to understand this. He tried to understand the pragmatic meanings, and he tried to bring something new. So this effort is basically the deconstruction. So this is the basic principle, and this is the basic concept behind the deconstruction. I hope so you might have understood my today's video, that there is a flaw in the structure, and in deconstruction we try to find out these flaws and we try to make it. Thank you very much.